Hi, I'm Jessica, and when I'm not drinking all the coffee, watching Razorback sports, or hanging out with my family of boys, it's my passion to help elementary music teachers just like you find your unique teaching style. My goal with this podcast is to share helpful tips, strategies, and to give you the motivation you need to gain momentum in your teaching so you can continue being the music teacher rock star you already are. Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 22. Today I'm going to be talking about what it's like to be a teacherpreneur. Now, let me start out by saying this is never a role I thought I would be in. This is never something when I was in college I thought, you know what, I'm going to one day start an education website and help other teachers. No, and I'm going to explain a little bit about my path, but also talk about what it's like to be a teacherpreneur and why I am one. So first of all, a teacherpreneur, the simplest definition of that, is basically teachers who create their own educational products or services to fix problems that maybe they've encountered in their classroom. So that is my heart, is the years I had teaching music, I encountered so many problems with my particular classroom because I've shared the story before. You can listen to past episodes where I shared my experience of starting at a school that hadn't had music for several years. I had no curriculum. There was no teacher pay teacher back then. I had no mentor teacher. I had no one to ask for help. Google had some stuff, but it wasn't like a whole lot of help. And so I felt stuck, confused. Basically I just had to kind of figure it out as I went, and took home tons of books, resources, research, workshops, and figured out a system that worked for me. And so my passion is to help other teachers who are new to teaching elementary music, whether you have taught secondary music, private lessons, or are just a musician that has just been asked to teach, that I know what that's like to be brand new to an elementary music classroom. And or if you're even student teaching and you're about to get your first job, I know what it's like. You step in, and maybe your case isn't as extreme as mine was, but maybe, I've talked to so many of you on one-on-one calls or through different conversations through email or in one of my Facebook groups or whatever, and have heard your stories. And there are so many different stories where all I have are old curriculum to teach from. I can't afford to get anything else. Or you're having classroom management issues, or your students maybe had a former music teacher and you don't know how to teach them the objectives like the 4th and 5th graders because they're so far behind. All of these issues I wouldn't even call them issues, but this stuff you're facing, I can relate to so much, and it's my heart and passion to help you. So what is it like to be a teacherpreneur? I want to kind of jump into that a little bit I already told you what a teacherpreneur is, but why is it best to learn from a teacherpreneur? With so many education websites out there, and there's more coming, on the scene every single day. And there are large websites that have been around forever. And then there's new websites sprouting up that, and they all offer different things. And I, have done my research, and I'm telling you, I think there's incredible websites out there for music teachers that you can find lessons, lesson plans. Teacher Pay Teacher offers so many things you can use in your classroom. My goodness. There are trainings you can watch. Goodness gracious, there's so much. Workshops you can attend. But I want to tell you, a teacherpreneur, I think, and I have some friends online who I've connected with just in the online space who are teacherpreneurs too, whether they're currently in the classroom or they've previously taught like I have, that have seen a problem, because everybody has different experiences, right? We all walk different paths, and we all have different experiences that we bring with us. And that's what I think makes it, where we share our stories, that's how we're able to help others, because all of our stories are different. We've all walked different paths. We all have taught different students and been in different schools, different classrooms. And so I fully believe that teachers learn best from other teachers. I fully believe that. I do remember, like I said, when I was in the classroom and doing my research, and you could tell almost immediately if you're reading even, an article, you can tell if it's written by someone who is familiar with education versus someone who just wrote like an informational article or whatever. You can tell when you're sitting in a training, is this someone that really knows about music education, or are they just kind of, reading data? You know what I'm saying? There's so many sites out there, so it's hard to weed through them all and figure out what reaches you best. But I feel like teachers do learn best from other teachers, because the teachers are the ones who have been in the classroom, have, experienced. You cannot explain to anyone what it's like to be an elementary music teacher unless you've experienced it, taught, been in there every single day in the trenches and teaching those kiddos, being observed, planning programs, assessing your students, figuring out what teaching method to teach with. Unless you've actually done it, you cannot, I feel like, effectively help other music teachers, if that makes sense. So for me personally, I always have learned better from other teachers, and I would rather learn from someone who has been an elementary music teacher or music teacher in general than some of these sites that are just catered more to just general elementary teachers, which there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like sometimes, the music teachers kind of get lost in the shuffle of the education world and kind of like, well, wait, who's going to talk to us? Who's going to help us out? And so that's why I feel like that's my first reason. The second reason I think teacherpreneurs are important is because I feel like if you have a dream or a voice, you should use it. Now, like I said, when I started this conversation, I said I didn't go to college dreaming of being, an entrepreneur. I don't even think that term was talked about. You go through, you get your degree in music education, and if you've gotten mine was a 4.5 year degree, all the things that are involved in that, you're taught how to be a teacher, right? I don't think anybody teaches you how to be an entrepreneur. That's not something that's taught all through school, through high school and college. You're taught how to, get your degree and you get a job. And so I feel like it was years, like I said, just through experience. I just remember being frustrated. And then when I was in the classroom, I'd have talks with other teachers who were like, oh my goodness, I'm in this classroom and I don't know what to do. I have no materials. I have no resources. I'd meet other music teachers at workshops and I'd be like, hey, here's what I tried. Did you try that? Oh my gosh, that's a great idea. Why don't I try that? And then I would ask them questions and get, advice from them about things I was struggling with. So I feel like I said earlier, teachers learn best from teachers, but also, so I had a dream of helping impact the lives of other elementary music teachers who just feel stuck sometimes. And you feel like you can't tell people you're stuck because you're supposed to be viewed as the expert, right? You are the elementary music teacher. You are the, you are supposed to be the music specialist in your school. So you sometimes feel like, I know I did, and I'm raising my hand over here, if I can be completely honest. You feel like if you ask for help, then people are going to view you as not competent, or they're going to view you as not knowing they're going to view you as not knowing what you're doing. I hope that came out right. And so that's the furthest thing from the truth. I feel like music teachers need a place where you can feel comfortable asking questions. That's why I started my Facebook group, Music Education Connection. If you're an elementary music teacher, come join us. I want you to feel like you can ask questions and feel like you have a safe place for talking about your struggles and things that you are maybe not really getting good advice about because you don't know where to turn. I had a conversation recently with one of the music teachers in the Elementary Music Teacher Academy, and in the academy you can schedule a one-on-one phone call with me. Well, she was talking to me about she has a mentor teacher assigned to her that's a music teacher in her district, but she's tried to get a hold of this teacher. She has emailed her, tried to ask questions, and has gotten no response. And maybe you're nodding your head going, yeah, that's my experience too. I've had this. That was my experience. I had a mentor teacher that was a third grade teacher, and God bless her, she was an amazing teacher. I have nothing, she did a great job. She didn't know anything about music, so she could give me sort of kind of pointers on classroom management, sort of procedures, but everybody knows classroom management and procedures in music is way different than just a general third grade classroom, right? I was not assigned any music teacher, mentor teacher. I was not told about any music teachers I could reach out to. It wasn't until a few years down the road where I kind of got to know some of them on my own that I felt then some of them offered me their email address and were like, hey, ask me questions if you need to. I mean, and that helps so much. But I know so many teachers, if you're new to teaching elementary music, that maybe you are assigned a mentor teacher that is a music teacher, but you just have never gotten to know them. And that frustrates me. And so, like I said, I had a dream that I want to help other elementary music teachers who I can hopefully be a mentor to, and I can help you with the things that you're struggling with, and I can help give some advice and pointers if you are feeling stuck and you feel like, you know what, I have a mentor teacher, I have no idea who she is, and she's not helping me. Please know that there are people out there that are willing to help, that want to help, okay? So you don't need to feel stuck. And you can always email me too, and Jessica at thedomesticmusician.com. Okay, so I've been asked this question, and I want to kind of talk about this real quick. People have asked, well, do you miss being in the classroom? I do. I 100% do. And you have no idea how many conversations I had with my husband. Oh, okay, I'm going to go back into teaching next year. And then things will pick up with my website. And then I'll have more members joining my academy. And then I'm like working full time on this. And then and then also I'm a mom of 3 little boys, you guys. And so I thought, you know what? I kind of like put a halt to that, and I went, I think it's okay right now that I'm not in the classroom, because if what I'm doing is helping other elementary music teachers be effective in their classrooms, and then if I taught full-time and tried to do this, I wouldn't be able to work as hard at it and create content and be able to record this podcast and write the blog posts that I know are helping so many. That would be pretty nearly impossible. So I'm going back into teaching. I'm keeping up my teaching certificates and professional development hours and all those things. So when I say I'm certified to teach, I am not just making that up. I really am. I'm actually still certified to teach in Oklahoma as well as Arkansas. And I'm still keeping myself professionally developed. I'm still taking, so I just want everybody to know that I'm a teacher at heart. And I think whether you're teaching students in your classroom or you're a teacherpreneur who's teaching other teachers, your heart is still for teaching. That's why you have an education degree, because you want to teach. I would have never started a website where I'm wanting to help other elementary music teachers if I was not passionate about education. So the answer about will I go back into the classroom one day is probably. Do I know when? No, I don't. And I'm okay with that decision right now because, like I said, I had a dream. I decided to start this, and it's taking off. And I'm really proud of what I've accomplished, and I'm really proud of how many teachers I'm helping along the way. And I mean, every time I get an email that's like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been looking for, because I've been feeling stuck. I've been feeling kind of like in a low place. I've gotten these emails that say these teachers just feel like they're frustrated, confused, and go home crying. And then just, it just feels good being able to know that my words are resonating even with just one person. And that means so much, because that's my heart. It's not even about money. My heart is for helping, like I said, other music teachers who feel like they're not heard, they're frustrated, they're not listened to, they're not gaining traction, they're not getting any help. I feel like that is my passion and my heart, and I hope you can see that. So another reason I wanted to start my website and be a teacherpreneur is because there's a whole lot of, like I said, websites out there, and even quality music education websites and blogs and podcasts, but there's not a lot just catering to new elementary music teachers. And I saw that, and I saw the need, and, and they say if there's a need, try to fill that void. And I didn't just go, oh, well, what can I do? Let's see. And did my research. I'm like, oh, they do that, so I'm going to do this. No, I honestly, when I started my website, I don't even really, and I kind of did it backwards. A lot of times they say research what's out there and then kind of like fill the need. I just decided my heart is this, and I'm going to do this. And then I saw, as I started going, I'm not saying no one is talking to new elementary music teachers. There's amazing blog posts out there and amazing people that are helping new music teachers. But I felt like there's stuff that I can talk about, like I said, because everybody has different paths and different journeys. And I decided, you know what? I feel like there's new music teachers that just need some more help. And that's what my passion is. So let's see. The next thing I want to talk about is how not everyone's going to get what I'm doing, and that's okay. And I can't please everyone. And you guys, I am such a people pleaser. I mean, to a fault. But I had to let that go because, I mean, even my years of teaching in the classroom, I couldn't please every parent. I couldn't please every student. I couldn't please every teacher. I couldn't please my administrator all the time. And so on and so forth. You are not going to always be able to please everyone. And that's okay. It's okay. And once you feel like, if you're listening to this and you're in the classroom and you're trying to please all the people all the time and you're feeling like, burdened and stressed out about it, let that go. Because don't live your life being a people pleaser. It's not going to do any good for you or any good for the students you're teaching because you're just not going to be able to reach everyone. You're not going to be able to please everyone. And so what I mean by that is I spent probably the first year running my website of worrying about what everybody else thought. Oh my gosh, they're gonna think I'm like a fraud because I'm not currently in the classroom. People aren't gonna want to hear what I'm saying because they're doing all this in their classroom and I'm not doing that. Or I haven't had experience with that part of teaching, but I've had experience with that. And I had to let that go. I had to just go, you know what? Everybody is not going to be able to reach everyone. Think about it. You probably have your favorite websites, right? And you have another teacher friend who really likes another website. And you have another teacher friend who really likes another website. And that's okay. Because think about it. We all have different personalities, different strengths, different weaknesses, different ways of doing things, different whatever. And in no way am I ever trying to be offensive. And am I ever trying to be, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but I am very sarcastic. And I sometimes come across blunt. And that's not intentional. That's just my personality. And I feel like sometimes that may rub people the wrong way. But instead of worrying about that, and if I get a nasty email, I just have to go, you know what? I get 10 good ones for one nasty one. And so I am not going to be able to, that person that didn't like what I said or didn't resonate with me, that's okay. That means they're going to find advice or help somewhere else. And that is perfectly fine. That's why there's so many different websites out there catering to so many different people. And so these are just reasons I am a teacherpreneur, and I am so passionate about what I'm doing right now. And I hope that you can see that. And I don't mean just right now, I plan to keep going and I plan to keep doing this for years to come. And so along with me talking about helping you in your elementary music teaching journey, I would love for you to check out thedomesticmusician.com. And on my homepage, you'll find different free resources you can download. And I am always here to help you any way I can. If you got something from this episode, you can always direct message me on Instagram. My handle is @JessicaParesta, or join the Facebook group, Music Education Connection. We would love to see you in there, and I will talk to you soon. Have an amazing day. Bye. Thank you so much for listening in to the Elementary Music Teacher Podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And while you're there, I would love for you to review the show and leave a rating on iTunes. To find out more about how I can help you gain momentum in your elementary music teaching career, head to thedomesticmusician.com, where you'll find free downloads, courses, the blog, and so much more. Continue teaching music and never doubt the impact you're making each and every day in the lives of your students.